Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to talk about how to make a budget and get grip on those expenses. Let's dive into it. Hey guys, and welcome to my new video. So today I'm going to talk about how to make a budget. When you hear the word budget, a lot of people kind of cringe or get this feeling, like a negative feeling.
Like, oh, a budget, I don't want a budget. I want to spend the money how I want it. I don't want to think about it.
But a budget is really important, and to me it's the #1 step in becoming financially free. Because if you don't know how much money you're making or where you're spending it on, you will never be able to save and invest and become financially free. How did I start? So before I had a budget, I spent all my money on, and I didn't even know where it was going. I earned quite a lot, and every month I was spending all my money. At the end it was always kind of tight, and I sometimes had to borrow money from someone, and it's actually quite funny because the first month I started, you can see that I had to pay back 3 people, my mom, my brother and a friend of mine, because I couldn't make ends meet in that month. And ever since I did it, in 3 years time, I've been able to save more than 30,000 euros on not a too high salary. So if I can do it, you guys can do it for sure. Step 1, go through your bank statements. I recommend that you go through your bank statements of at least 2 months and write down all of your expenses. I want you to write down all the expenses you have every month, but I also want you to write down occasional expenses. Maybe you got a coffee, and even your bank account cost that sometimes cost only €1.10. I want you to write it all, up to the cent exact. Any expense you want to know about it. And also all your income, because some people only have salary as an income, but other people also have some allowance, or they get money from the government, subsidies. So write down all of your income, everything. So what I did is make a distinction between set expenses, like really need to, and nice to, occasional spending as well. And of course some expenses are debatable. Is it a set, or is it something that you really need, or is it more something that you want? But it doesn't really matter. The point is that you write it all down and that you get grip on your expenses. Step 2, download an app or use an Excel sheet. So I made an Excel sheet that I use myself, and I also want to give it to you guys so you can download it for free. Here in the link in the description. Okay, so here you see the budget. I just want to go quickly through it so you guys know how to work it. I made here a list of all the expenses that I could come up with, also income and your net worth. And what you're going to do is you're going to fill in these one by one per month. And if you only know the amount per year, you can fill it in here at the per year section. And let's say your rent is like 6,000 per year, then you know, oh, it's 500 euros per month. You fill it in here. So you go through this list and you fill in, all your expenses and all your income, and if you also have it your net worth, your savings, stocks or something like that. I already prepared it here so you can see it quickly. What I've done is I filled everything in here, and for example the things I don't have, I just left it blank. Here you can see, oh, I know I pay my health insurance only once per year, 1,200, so it's more or less 100 euros per month. Of course, maybe not all of these categories apply for you, then you can just get them out. For example, if you don't have cryptocurrency, you can just delete it. And if you maybe have something else, maybe you have a loan, you loan money to someone and you get that back eventually, you can put it down there. Then as you see here, I put all the months from January to December, and it's already filled in for most part. That goes automatically, so that is pretty nice. And here you see the total is 2,082, and the total income is 2,100. So you have like 17 euros left. And what I do is I either put it at savings or here at others. To match that, and in this case it's like 17 euros and 33 cents, and see now it's completely the same.
Here you have leftover from last month, and sometimes it happens that you maybe here only spend like 50 euros. So you have like 67.33 left, and then in the next month you put this amount, and your total will be here. So you have a little more to play with. And yeah, another thing as you can see is now cryptocurrency here gives like an error because we took it out in the information tab. So what you do is you just delete this one and then it works again. And this is basically how it goes for every month. You can see they're all filled in. That's basically it. I have two versions, an English one and a Dutch one. I will leave them in the description. You guys can download it for free. And let me know if you like it, if you use it, and how it's working for you. Alright, let's go back to the video.
You can also download many of the apps that are out there. There's free ones or paid ones. But I really like to use Excel because I can modify and tweak it myself. And yeah, I just really like to do that way. But feel free to use anything you want. So now that you went through your bank statements and wrote down all your expenses and income, I want you to think also about things that maybe only come once per year or once every quarter or unexpectedly. So one of those examples is property taxes. For you guys who own a house, you know what I'm talking about. Depending on the value of your house, it can be 500 to 1,000 or something, and very annoying. So what I like to do is think ahead, try to estimate how much is it going to be to pay for property taxes. And let's say it's 600 euros. So 600 divided by 12 months is 50 euro per month. Then I know I have to put aside 50 euros per month. And then when the bill comes, I use the money I saved. I put it in a separate bank account. And then when the bill comes, I take the money from that savings account and I spend it. That way I keep my checking account clear, and when an unexpected bill comes, I already save for it, so it doesn't hurt. Another example is that you guys probably know this, that some months are more expensive than other months, and especially December with, I have a lot of birthdays, but also Christmas and New Year's. A lot of gifts always, and yeah, it always comes in a moment that you're like, oh, I'm almost out of money, I have to buy all these things. And so here I do the same. I try to think ahead, how much do I want to spend on gifts in a year? And I just divide it by 12 and put it aside each month. So then when I ever buy a gift, I just take it from my gift account, and that way I keep control over my spending. Another big one is vacation. Most of us go on vacation once per year. It's always a lot of money, and what I learned the hard way is that if you don't budget for it, you don't think about money, because a lot of people say,
Yeah, it's my vacation, I don't want to think about money.
and I hear that. I mean, like, when you're on vacation, you should enjoy yourself, and I'm all for that. But what's really a shame is that if you lose so much money when it wasn't necessary. And I think if you plan ahead and you budget, you give yourself a budget, you can save a lot of money and keep it at least close to what you want to spend it on. So what I do is, let's say I want to spend 2,400 euros. I again divide it by 12, which is 200 euros per month. And every month I put aside 200 euros. So when I want to go on vacation, or I have any costs related to vacation, so maybe tickets or paying for the accommodation, I just take that money out of my savings account for holidays, and I'll pay with that money. Step 3, set up automatic transfers. What that means is that when you have money coming in, either from salary or something else, that the day after, as soon as possible, you move your money to your separate saving account. So for example, for clothes, for a holiday, whatever you want to save for. And why automatically? Because if you do it automatically, you don't have to think about it, so you can never forget it. And another thing is, you don't have to decide anymore, are you gonna put it or not? Because it goes automatically, it costs you zero willpower, zero thought, and it just goes. And this is so important, because if you wait till the end of the month and see what's left over, you're probably gonna find out that there's not so much left. At least for me, when I have a lot of money in my checkings account, I feel kind of rich, and I feel like, oh, I can buy whatever I want, and then at the end of the month I have nothing left. But what I do is I try to keep my checking account as low as possible so I don't get tempted to buy things I don't really need. And I really buy the things that I want to buy beforehand. So if you made it this far in the video and you like what I'm saying and you like my tips, please give me a like. It will help out a lot. And also, if you want to see more of this kind of videos, subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell, and you won't miss out any of my new videos in the future. Step 4. Keep checking your bank account at least one time per week. Like everything in life, if you give it attention and focus, it will grow. You will become better. The same goes for having a budget. It's like working out. If you work out only once a year, you're not going to see a lot of difference. But if you do it every week consistently, you will see a lot of gains. And the same goes for a budget. If you just do it once, you set it up and you never look at it, you're probably not going to make a lot of progress. But if you keep checking it every week and you go through your bank statements and you write down and you check if your real expenses match with what you budgeted, you will see some massive gains. And the more you do this, the better you will get at it. Because at first it might be a little uncomfortable or you're not really used to it, but the more you do it, the easier it will be. And trust me, 50 minutes per week is more than enough to keep track of everything. Step 5 is don't make your budget too tight. Why is that so important? If you make your budget too tight, it's going to be really difficult to keep up with it. And then once you don't keep up with it, you're going to be very easily demotivated. It's like having a diet and you're only allowed to eat salads. Like, okay, you're maybe going to keep up with it 1 week or 2 weeks, but eventually you're going to eat something bad. And then the bar to eat something bad again will be lower because you already did it. So why wouldn't you do it another time? What I suggest is don't make it too hard on yourself. And also, nothing in life is perfect, so your budget won't be either. I had it some months that, things came up unexpectedly. For example, I had a son last year, and of course that messed a little bit with my budget. But that's okay, because a budget is nothing more than a tool to help you get grip on your expenses. And when things change, you gotta change your budget too. Another tip I want to give you guys is to really think to yourself, what are the things that I buy that give me a lot of joy, that give me a lot of happiness? Because a budget is not telling you don't spend money. A budget is to be really intentional about where to spend your money on. If you like cars, for example, spend your money on cars, put it in your budget. If you like clothes, and then, I mean everyone needs clothes, but if you really like to shop online or in stores and buy some clothes, go do that. Put it in your budget, make room for that. But then leave some other things out. For example, maybe you drink a Starbucks coffee every day. Try to balance it. That's what's the most important. So those are my tips and my steps on how to make a budget and get grip on your expenses. And let me know what you think about it. Maybe you have some other tips or steps that you're using. I would love to hear about that. I hope I see you in the next one. So guys, if you made it this far in the video and you like it, so what I did is I made a distinction. So what I did is make it extension.